basis of that classification. Actually, why we do classification is to simplify a study. If there are many things, if we want to study a population, then if we are not grouping individual, then we have to study every individual. But if you are grouping individual based on their common characteristics, then you don't have to study everyone separately. You can study a group, and by understanding of that group, you can understand the whole population. So that's why classification is done in science. So in nutrients, all the substance, or we can say all the chemical substance who are having common characteristic, who are having common chemical nature, who are having common role in our body, those all elements are classified in a single group, like carbohydrate, like protein, like fat. So what is the basic of that classification? uh, i will uh, I will explain. Okay, just give me a minute.
Sir, you are not audible.
Sir, are you speaking? If you're speaking, we are not able to hear you.
Okay, okay, sorry, I forgot to turn on mic. Sorry, I will explain again. Okay, so nutrient I was explaining, like what is the basic of classification of nutrient into carbs, into protein, into fat, into minerals, and into vitamins. I am talking about this basis of classification. If you know about this basis of classification, then you will get a basic idea of what is carbs, what is protein. So first, if we talk about what is carbs, why some nutrients from our food are taken in this category, why some elements, some chemical substances which are present in our food are known as carbs. So two conditions were there. Those all chemical substances present in our food which are having chemical formula of CHO. Three nutrient are present, three elements are present in carbohydrate. First one is carbon, other one is hydrogen, and third one is oxygen. So all those elements present in our food in which carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are present, and the other condition is they are providing us energy. The main function of carbohydrate is to provide us energy. So scientists, what scientists have done, they have identified all the substances in our diet which are having common chemical formula, and in that chemical formula they three elements were there. First one is carbon, other one is hydrogen, third one is oxygen. And the other condition is that they are mostly providing us energy. They are not forming our structural framework, like they are not forming our nails, they are not forming our hairs. They are just providing us energy. So these all chemical substances are placed in one category, and this category is known as carbs or carbohydrate. Now let's talk about other category, protein. So what is the basis of classification to put some chemical substances into this category? So similarly, those all chemical compounds which are having a formula of C, H, O, and N. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are present in carbohydrate, but in addition to carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, there is one more element present here. This is nitrogen. So protein is the only we can say only group in our diet which contain nitrogen. If you are having any problem because of nitrogen, if you are having nitrogen deficiency, if you are having nitrogen toxicity in your body, that is only because of protein. Nitrogen is present only in protein, not in any other nutrient. So carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, all the substances which are containing these elements and which are responsible for formation of structural framework, our body formation of structure and framework. So all those chemical substances which contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, and which are mostly engaged in formation of structural framework, like in our nails, there is a protein which forms our nail. Our hair also forms by protein. There is one protein, keratin. So all those chemical substances are placed under protein, and we will study all of them in this category. Third category. Third category is fat. So I am just giving a general introduction so that if when we will start, you will not be confused and you will have a general introduction. So in third category, all the fats and oils, like oils and waxes. Oil and waxes have a common characteristic, and that characteristic is lubrication. So because of this physical characteristic, they also possess some common chemical characteristic. They have fatty acid inside them. So all the substances which have some lubrication property, and they are having fatty acid. They are having fatty acid in their general formula. Like our house is made up of bricks. Similarly, fats are made up of fatty acid. So all those substances which are having lubricative nature and which containing fatty acid, all are placed in fat. What is the main function of fat in our body? Fat are we can say concentrated form of energy. Concentrated form of energy. Sorry for this handwriting. Fats are concentrated form of energy. I am not saying that fat are source of energy in our body. Primary source of energy in our body is carbohydrate. Fat are secondary source of energy. So fat, mostly fat are used in our body in different roles, but fat are classified on the basis of this lubricative nature and this presence of fatty acid. So this is the main classification of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. And we have discussed all the important or can say all the common characteristic of these three macronutrients. Now, what about vitamin and mineral? So there is not any common characteristic between vitamin and mineral. So scientists have discovered these three categories first: carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Then they discovered that apart from these three categories, carbohydrate, protein, and fat, there are also many substances present in our food which not comes under these three categories. They neither provides us energy, they neither are a part of our structural framework, and neither they have lubricative nature, and they don't contain fatty acid. So all these substances which does not comes under carbohydrate, protein, and fat. For all those substances, two new categories are created. First one is vitamin, and other one is mineral. So all those chemical substances which do not fulfill the condition for carbohydrate, protein, and fat comes under vitamin and mineral. So what is the basis of classification in vitamin and mineral? Anyone can tell?
What was the question? Sorry.
Question is that all those chemical substances which don't comes under carbohydrate, protein, and fat, for all those chemical substances, two new categories are created. First one is vitamin, other one is mineral. So what is the basis of classification in vitamins and mineral? Why there is only one? Why there is not only one category? Why there is two?
Vitamin A, B, C is there. Mineral is a like zinc,
Yeah, yeah.
iron.
Okay. Yeah, you are giving correct example. But what is the basic, what is the main concept behind that? So all the organic substances are placed in vitamin despite of irrespective of whether they have common formula or not. Vitamin A is very much different than vitamin B. Vitamin B is very much chemical formula than vitamin C, and all are having not having common chemical formula, and they are not having common function. They are having different function. So all the remaining elements which comes under organic substances placed under vitamin, and all the remaining substances which comes under inorganic means these can be extracted from earth crust, sorry. All these are placed under minerals. So there is not any proper characteristic of vitamin and mineral. All the vitamin have different functions. All the vitamin have different chemical structure. The one thing that is they all are organic substances. Similarly, different minerals have different atomic structure. They have different functions in our body. Those functions are even not linked with each other, but the thing for which all the minerals are kept in this category, that is all of them can found in earth crust. So this is the classification of vitamin and minerals. Anyone having doubt in this classification: carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, and mineral? If you go through the mentality of scientists, like why they classify like this, then it will be easy for you. Is there any doubt?
No, Ji.
Okay, so we will then proceed forward, and again we are coming to our slide. So what are food group?
Excuse me, sir. I have one doubt. But
Yes.
the minerals are all in our intaking food also. No? Then why it is particularly mentioned that earth crust like that? Because it's all in whatever we are taking. All are present in that also. No. Then
Yeah.
it is an organic also. No. Why it is
Yeah.
mentioned?
Okay, minerals are actually not organic. You are saying that minerals are also present in water. but the ultimate source of mineral is earth crust. Like we have seen various nutrient cycle, like phosphorus cycle, like calcium cycle. The main source of minerals are earth crust. From there, they dissolve in water, and from water they comes in our body. Vitamins are not found in earth crust.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Vitamin are basically made by plants. From plants, they
Mm.
comes in our body. They are not found in earth crust. Minerals are found in earth crust.
But the same minerals are found in plant, what we food taking also, but the main
Yes.
source is from earth. Okay,
The main
okay,
source is earth crust.
okay,
Plants are absorbing minerals from earth crust, and from
okay,
plants we are getting the minerals.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now, there is also one classification food group. Now we have understood the micro classification of our nutrient. Micro classification means what is the at microscopic level, how can we classify various nutrient? But if we are preparing our meal, if we are keeping if we want a good meal, if we want a balanced diet, then it is not that much practical that we are going through, we need that much carbohydrate, we need that much protein, we need that much fat. You all are studying, you all will study the what are carbohydrate, what are fat, what are protein. But uh, those people who don't study, they can't make a balanced diet on the basis of knowledge of this carbohydrate, of this knowledge of this protein. They don't have knowledge of these all. So what ICMR have done, they have made 5 food group. So if you are taking diet from these 5 food group, then you don't need the knowledge of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. If you are taking a variety of these food group, if you are taking something from first group, if you are taking something from second group, if you are taking from something from third group, fourth group, fifth group, then there will not be any deficiency of any nutrient in your body. So it's good to have a complete knowledge of carbohydrate, protein, and fat, but it is also a fact that all the person around us can't have this knowledge of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. So to simplify that knowledge, ICMR has classified our diet into like macro classification, which we can see by our eyes. So this macro classification is known as food group. So on this food group, UGC also asked question around 2 or 3 years ago. They asked about what are the 5 main food groups. So you should know the concept of food group. There are mainly 5 food group. First one are cereal, grain, and product. Now in many books, you will see this group as starchy food. Starchy food. Uh, is there any problem with this handwriting? Can you understand?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, I'm trying, but I'm actually not habitual to this. So first group is starchy food. So starchy food, there is presence of carbohydrate, carbs. So those people who don't have knowledge of carbohydrate, those people who don't know that what are the sources of carbohydrate, what are the sources of protein, if but they will certainly know what are cereals, grain, and product. Like cereals means different wheat, rice, all these comes under cereals. So this is first category, starch food, which gives us carbohydrate. Also, they contain many other nutrients like
Sir, your voice is
in
breaking.
yesterday class we read that one food there are many. Okay, for everyone, my voice is not clear.
Yes, sir. Clear. Not clear, sir.
Okay, I will check my connection. Sorry. Now it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if again my voice will break, then we will continue class tomorrow, because right now in room and I network are not proper there. From tomorrow, then I will take in classroom. Okay, so please let me know if there is some more disturbance in voice. So first,
Now it's better, sir.
okay, then we will continue. So first category is starchy food, all those food items that contain carbs, and in this category, cereals, grains, and product of cereals and grains are there. Second category, pulses and legumes. So can anybody tell which nutrient present in this category?
Protein.
Yeah, protein. So this second category is for protein. All the pulses and legumes like kidney bean, like other pulses and legumes, these are present in this category, and all these are a good source of protein. Now, third category. Third category is sugar and fat. This category gives us fat. Although sugar is written here, but ultimately sugar also form fat in our body. Sugar is basically a carbohydrate, but consumption of sugar in our body directly lead to formation of fat. So this is third category, sugar and fat. So in this category, fats are present. So if you are taking sugar and fat, then fat will not be deficient in your body. Fourth category is vegetables and fruit. So what will be in this category?
Minerals.
Yeah, minerals and
Vitamins.
Vitamins.
vitamins. Yes, very good. So minerals and vitamins, only they are also present in cereals, grains, and product. They are also present in pulses and legumes. They are also present in milk and meat product. But if we talk about composition, that they are present in larger composition in vegetables and fruit. All the vegetable and fruit are a very good sources of minerals and vitamin. Some vegetable contain vitamin A, some vegetable contain vitamin B, some contain vitamin C. So if you are taking different type of vegetable, different types of fruit, then you don't need to bother about you are taking vitamin A or not, you are taking vitamin B or not. So this category contains vitamin and mineral. Now, what about this fifth category, milk and milk product?
Have fats,
Fats.
fat
Yeah,
and protein, both.
yeah,
Minerals.
fat and protein. It is correct up to some extent. Like, what is the main role of milk and meat product? Is that if some of the nutrient is lacking in any of these category, then if you are having milk and meat product, then that deficiency will be covered. So it is to cover the deficiency of some nutrient and deficiency of some other nutrient like carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, and mineral. Like you know that milk is a complete food. In milk, except vitamin C, all the other nutrients are present. Similarly with meat, what is meat? Meat is just a flesh of any other animal. So that animal have collected vitamins, that animal have collected minerals, that animal have collected fat and carbohydrate in his lifespan. So we are having his flesh. So meat product and milk, these are responsible for covering the deficiency of any other food group. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, last time I'm explaining cereals, grain, and product. This category contain carbohydrate. Pulses and legumes, this category contain protein. Third category is sugar and fat, this category contain fat. And fourth category is vegetables and fruit, this category contain minerals and vitamins. And the last category is milk and meat product. All the dairy products comes under this category. So this category is to fulfill the deficiency of any other nutrients or any nutrient. This category can fulfill its deficiency. So now there is a very good thing and we should be proud on our tradition. If we compare it with the Indian thali, we are having chapatis. So chapatis and rice. That is first food group, cereals, grain and product. We are having dal with dal. It contains pulses and legumes. We are having also having vegetables and fruit. We also use oil to cook our food that contain the sugar and fat category, and we are having curd, we are having milk, so this contain milk and meat product, dairy product. So ICMR has released this food group around 30-40 years ago, but our ancestor already knowing this all food group, that's why it resembled to our Indian plate. And if you are having a good Indian diet like chapatis, like vegetables, like dal, then all these food groups are covered automatically. You don't need to bother about that. The problem mostly occurs with vegetables and fruit. We don't change vegetable. We don't use seasonal vegetable usually. So the problem starts from here. If you are having vegetables, if you are having fruits, then there will be no deficiency. The problem mostly occurs with vegetarians. What happens with vegetarian is that they are not having meat, so they don't have an extra option to cover that deficiency. So they completely rely on vegetables and fruit. So as India is a middle class country, everyone don't have a good availability of vegetable and fruit. So that's why our country is so much deficient in many nutrients, like iron deficient anemia is very much found in our country. Phosphorus and other nutrients are also found very much deficient in population of our country. So the problem is not in our food habit. The problem is our knowledge. The problem is availability of food. So these are 5 food group. All these 5 food group, I think, will be clear to all. These are example, and you can also see the important nutrient in every food group. Okay, so this is our first topic, concept of balanced diet. Is anyone having any doubt in this whole presentation?
No, sir.
Okay, then we will move towards the second topic, that is carbohydrate. In this topic, we will read about what are carbohydrate, what are sources of carbohydrate, what is the metabolism of carbohydrate in our body. So just give me 1 minute. Okay. So now we are starting carbohydrate. I already gave an introduction like what are carbohydrate, what is the basic chemical formula, and what are the basic function of carbohydrate. So now we will start in detail. We will complete all those heading, even those heading which are present in the last unit, like metabolism of carbohydrate and all. We will also cover all those heading only here only. So carbohydrate, lipids, and protein are naturally occurring bulk nutrient present in almost all food in different quantities. This line we have discussed yesterday. Thus, carbohydrate, lipids, and protein. Lipids are fats. So these three are macronutrient, and these are most occurring nutrient because these are required by our body in more quantity. Carbohydrates are sugars. So carbohydrates are basically sugars and are basically polymers of sugar such as starch that can be hydrolyzed to simple sugar by the action of digestive enzyme. So you can read this slide. I will explain in simple words. So what are carbohydrate in simple word? Carbohydrate are polymers of monosaccharide. These monosaccharide you can write carbohydrate are polymers of monosaccharide. So what are monosaccharide? Monosaccharide is a chemical substances that formed by combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. I am again repeating, monosaccharide are chemical substances that formed by the combination of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They have specific chemical formula, they have specific chemical structure, but we don't need to know that chemical structure. That is not is in our syllabus. So monosaccharide are basic unit of carbohydrate. Like I gave you example with what is the basic unit of our body?
Cell.
Cell.
Yeah, cells are the basic fundamental unit of our body. There is also one question, why cells are basic unit of our body? Why not cell organelles?
Because cells perform all the metabolic activities.
And what about cell organelles?
Organelles support the mechanism of metabolism, but on their own, they don't.
Yeah, cell.
It's a complete unit.
Yeah, very good. Cell represent our body in micro level. All the functions that are happening in our body, all the functions like breathing, like we are having food, all the function are being represented by the cell in micro level. Cell is taking up oxygen, cell is releasing carbon dioxide, cell is using food. So all the function which we are doing, that is being represented by the cell in microscopic level. Cell organelles just support that function. And there is one more thing, cell is capable of individual existence. Like you can see bacteria, virus, those are unicellular organisms, but they can survive on their own. But cell organelles don't have their individual existence. Like if we just draw out a RBC, if we draw out a we can say endoplasmic reticulum, that it will not survive. But cell can survive. Cell have that ability to survive. So they are basic fundamental unit of our body. Our body is made up of cell. Similarly, carbohydrate are made up of monosaccharide. Monosaccharide are building blocks of carbohydrate. Monosaccharide are chemical substances that are formed from three elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Now, this is what this is written here. Like if we hydrolyzed carbohydrate, it will be hydrolyzed into simple sugar. Hydrolyzation means when we react something with water, and when anything is being broken in presence of water, that process is known as hydrolysis. So hydrolysis, you can, in simple word, you can understand breaking something. So if we break carbohydrate, we will find simple sugar or monosaccharide. So this is all written here. So now let's understood the classification of carbohydrate. So first classification is monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, and polysaccharide. Now let's understand this classification. Oops. So all those carbohydrate in which only one unit of monosaccharide is present, like this is one monosaccharide, all those carbohydrate in which only one monosaccharide is present, that are known as monosaccharide. They have only one unit of themselves. All those carbohydrate in which 2 to 10 monosaccharide are present. Oh, sorry. All those carbohydrate in which 2 unit of monosaccharide is present, like one is this unit and one is this unit. These will be connected by some bond. So all those carbohydrate in which 2 unit of monosaccharide are present, those are known as disaccharide. Now there is also a third category, those are known as oligosaccharide. In oligosaccharide, there are 3 to 10 monosaccharide are present. Like it can be like this, it can be like this. So all those carbohydrate in which 3 to 10 monosaccharide are present, those are known as oligosaccharide. Now last category is polysaccharide. So polysaccharide are those carbohydrate in which hundreds of monosaccharide are present. Like if we take example of starch, we have a red starchy food. In starchy food, starch is present. So starch is a type of polysaccharide carbohydrate. In starch, there are hundreds of monosaccharide present. So this is general classification of carbohydrate: monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide, and polysaccharide. So if we hydrolyze these disaccharide, how many monosaccharide we will get?
2.
Yeah, 2 monosaccharide. If we hydrolyzed oligosaccharide, then we will get 3 to 10 oligosaccharide. Yeah, based on that type of oligosaccharide. And if we hydrolyze these polysaccharide, then we will get hundreds of monosaccharide. So these are general classification of carbohydrate. Okay, monosaccharide are compound that cannot be hydrolyzed to simpler compound. These are the simplest compound. These are basic unit of carbohydrate. These are simplest form of carbohydrate. In monosaccharide, there are different types of monosaccharide are there, hexose, pentose. So you can write different types of monosaccharide are there, hexose, pentose. These two are quite famous monosaccharide. So why we are calling this hexose? Why we are calling this pentose? Hexose means it has something which is having a quantity of 6, and pentose means it have something which have quantity of 5. Now what is that?
Six carbon.
Carbon
Yeah.
molecules.
That is carbon. So all those monosaccharide, as I told you, carbohydrate only contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So on the basis of number of carbon present, monosaccharide are classified. So we don't need to know that classification, but two important monosaccharide we should know. First one is hexose, other one is pentose. In hexose, 6 carbon are present. What is the formula of glucose?
C6H12O6.
Yeah, C6H12O6. So here 6 carbon are present. So glucose is a hexose. Fructose is also having formula like C6H12O6. Now I will tell the difference in glucose, I will tell the difference in fructose. But all these are having 6 carbon, so all these comes under this hexose. So that's why it is written here that hexose have dietary importance. So this can be a question that which monosaccharide have dietary importance. Hexose have dietary importance. What is the importance of pentose in our body? What is the role of pentose? You all have heard of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. In this DNA, ribose sugar is present, and that ribose sugar is having 5 number of carbon. This is structure of ribose sugar. At each point, a carbon is present, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pentose sugar is basically present in our genetic material. All the genetic material, whether it is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, whether it is RNA, you know the full form of RNA.
Ribonucleic acid.
Yeah, ribonucleic acid. RNA also contain pentose sugar. DNA also contain pentose sugar. Whether it is mRNA, messenger RNA, will also contain pentose sugar. So in this monosaccharide are just substances which contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. In this monosaccharide, if there are 6 carbon present, then they will known as hexose, and they are having dietary importance. They are important in our diet. They are giving us energy. And if they are having 5 carbon, then they will known as pentose, and they are having some importance in our genetic material. So example of monosaccharide are glucose, galactose, fructose, and mannose. All are having same empirical formula, CnH2n. So all these are hexose, and they are having same formula. Example of monosaccharide are glucose, galactose, fructose, and mannose. One thing is there, they all are having common formula, and that formula is C6H12O6. They all are having common chemical formula. Then what is the difference in all these glucose, galactose, and fructose? If they are having same chemical formula, then why are they different? Okay, that difference is because of their structure. Like I am giving simple example. In this, the structure of glucose can be 6 carbon are present. It can be like this. These are 6 carbon. In fructose, carbon structure can be like this. It can't be here. It can be like this. So these all are having common chemical formula, but these all are having different structure, and these all are hexose: glucose, galactose, fructose, mannose, and these all are having different sources. So first one is glucose. Glucose is also known as dextrose. Dextrose is another name of glucose, and you have to remember it. Glucose is also known as grape sugar because in grape glucose is present. Glucose is also known as corn sugar. These all name you have to remember because UGC can ask question on this name. Glucose is found in sweet fruits, but again it is not known as fruit sugar. Although glucose found in some fruits, but it is not known as fruit sugar. Glucose is only known as dextrose, grape sugar, or corn sugar. Glucose is chief and end product of digestion of all the disaccharide and polysaccharide. Glucose is also known as our blood sugar. All the things, all the events in which carbohydrate is needed in our body only use glucose. I will explain this. Whether it is any polysaccharide you have taken, whether you have taken any galactose, you have taken any lactose, any type of carbohydrate, whether it is polysaccharide, whether it is any monosaccharide also. If you are having that carbohydrate, our body will convert that carbohydrate into glucose. Then only our body can use that carbohydrate. So this is also known as blood sugar. Because in our blood only glucose can be used, and most of the blood only contain glucose. Although galactose are present, although other monosaccharide are present, but those are being converted into glucose. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in our body, glucose is the form in which carbohydrates circulate, and our body can only use glucose. If you are having fruit, okay, I will give example. First, we will discuss all other type. Other one is fructose. Fructose is fruit sugar. Glucose is not fruit sugar. Fructose is known as fruit sugar because glucose is only present in some of fruits like grape, corn, berries, and oranges, but most of the fruits contain fructose. That's why this name can be these names resemble each other, fructose and fruit. It is found in honey, it is found in ripe fruits, it is even found in some vegetable. So it is end product of hydrolysis of sucrose. This we will discuss later. So fructose is fruit sugar. Fructose is also found in one of our body cell. Can you name that cell?
Is it pancreas? Cell, sir? Cell.
Yeah, cell. Which cell contain fructose? All the functions in our body is carried out by glucose, but only one cell use fructose. That is human sperm cell. Human sperm cell have collection of fructose and it uses fructose in order to generate energy. So this you should remember. Other one is galactose. So galactose is not found freely in nature, unlike glucose and fructose. These all are found naturally in nature in some fruits. Unlike glucose and fructose, galactose is not found freely in nature. If we hydrolyze lactose, lactose is a disaccharide. If we hydrolyze this lactose, then it will be broken into galactose and glucose. So now we will talk about disaccharide. So these all are monosaccharides.
Can you,
now,
so can you
Yeah.
repeat about galactose?
Okay, I will repeat. If I explain lactose, lactose is a disaccharide. When I will explain lactose, then you will understand
No.
that.
I'm asking about galactose, sir.
Yeah. If I explain lactose, then in lactose that galactose will come and you will understand there.
Okay.
It will be more clear there.
Sir.
Okay. So disaccharide are none other, but these are two monosaccharide that are linked by a bond. So disaccharide, example of disaccharide are sucrose, lactose, and maltose. These are famous disaccharide. So when two monosaccharide linked with a bond, they are known as disaccharide. They are having empirical formula of C2 H22O11, like C6H12O6. This is formula of monosaccharide. If we are having 2 monosaccharide, then every atom will be doubled. In place of 6, there will be C12. In place of 12, there will be 22, and in place of 6, there will be 11. Now, why there is not 24 and there is not 12? Why there is only 11 atom of oxygen present and 22 atoms of hydrogen present? Why it is like that?
So it is used in the bond,
Bond.
Yeah,
Yes,
water.
bonding.
yeah, it is used in the bond. Like this is general formula of we can understand this as a monosaccharide. Hydrogen will be there, and this is another monosaccharide. Hydrogen and oxygen are linked to this. This is for a structure of monosaccharide. This is also structure of monosaccharide. Oxygen and hydrogen are linked to this. So when this will there will be bond formation, these hydrogen will be out of this monosaccharide, and this will be directly linked to each other. Similarly, oxygen atom also leave this monosaccharide, and in place of oxygen atom, this will join with each other. That's why there is C12H22 and O11. Is it clear?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the important thing is that disaccharide contain 2 monosaccharide. So today time is almost over. We have 5 minutes remaining. You can ask your doubt. That galactose, we will when we will cover lactose, it will be more clear.
Right, sir.
Okay. Any other doubt you are having?
No, sir.
Okay, then we will stop here. From tomorrow, we will continue this carbohydrate. You all can leave now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.